uninteresting, dull, and mediocre. Of course, she would never become Mrs. William Harrison. What Grace did not understand was that years ago, Harriet had given William every reason to avoid her forever. He would likely despise her now. Although Harriet missed her sister, she was quite glad that Grace was away with her husband, visiting his cousins in the north of England, far enough away that she could not scold Harriet for putting off the wager. Harriet could avoid William a little longer. As she mused over these things, she set her pencil to her paper once more, the tip nearly breaking under the weight of her distress. At least William was not set to arrive for 2 weeks. 2 weeks in which Harriet could enjoy her freedom. The man never failed to bring a stirring to her stomach, a mix of emotions she didn't dare puzzle out. They attended the same social events when propriety required it, and she knew he tried just as hard as she did to avoid meeting eyes, being seated near one another, or, heaven forbid, engaging in a conversation. She had spent years trying to forget her childhood memories that involved him. And there were many. After several minutes, Harriet outlined the final details of the largest lilac on her page, closing her sketchbook with a snap. She examined the position of the sun, judging the time to be approximately 9. She missed the morning she had spent with Grace, sketching while her sister read books beneath trees on their property. But Grace was now married, receiving the lovely name of Lady Coventry, leaving Harriet to enjoy the company of the other unattached females of Brighton. But Harriet's favourite female companion, Rose Daventry, was soon to abandon her as well to the marriage noose. They could still enjoy their morning walks together, but Rose would have the responsibility of running a household, leaving little time for her unmarried friends. With a sigh, Harriet stood from her place on the garden bench, smoothing her skirts as she walked to the back door of Weston Manor. After she had replaced her sketchbook atop her writing desk and tied her favourite straw bonnet, she stepped outside to find Rose awaiting her. Endowed with a tall and willowy figure, golden curls, and a glowing complexion, it was no surprise that Rose had made such a lovely match with Sir Martin. Harriet met her friend with a smile. "I am in great need of a walk this morning," she said, forcing her voice to be cheerful. "Exertion is the only thing I have found capable of clearing my mind." Rose gave her a warm smile in return. "I do enjoy our morning walks. You are the only friend I have that doesn't tire of my talk of wedding preparations." She gave a trilling laugh, as if the contrary were impossible. For the sake of her friend, Harriet didn't outwardly deny the words, though she could think of a long list of topics that would be of greater interest to her than Rose's perfect marriage. But she was happy for her friend. She truly was. As Harriet descended the front steps, she held her skirts high, buried beneath her cloak, hoping to draw attention to them. The result was as she had hoped. Rose gasped in delight, placing one hand over her full lips. "Oh, Harriet, is this the gown you spoke of last week?" She nodded with vigour. It was the first day she had worn the gown. After spending weeks constructing it, she had been eager to finally wear it. "I found the fabric in town and simply could not resist it. The construction was difficult, but Mamma assisted me in the intricacies. I used an old dress to structure the pieces, then added the embellishments you see here." Harriet shrugged out of her cloak and pointed at the layer of chiffon on the sleeves and the overlay of lace covering most of the lavender skirts. With honey-blonde curls and pale blue eyes, Harriet had concluded that the gentle lavender colour would suit her complexion quite nicely. Her mother had wholeheartedly agreed. Rose stepped closer to examine the gown. "It is the most exquisite thing I've ever seen you wear," she said in a voice of delight. "It flatters your figure most becomingly. Mr. Harrison will be very pleased with it, I dare say." Harriet's elation dropped at the mention of William. "I do not wear it with the intention to please him." She had confided in Rose concerning the consequences of her wager with Grace. She hadn't.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.